Welcome back, guys. And today's episode, we're gonna discuss a topic. This has been coming up with our clients. They've been asking why we do this and why we do it this way. Okay, so the big question is why we charge a retainer, right, as a funding company. So as you guys have seen, if you guys have gone through our ecosystem, we charge a small retainer. It's just $500 to get started with us, guys. And the reason why we did this about a year ago, and it ensured a couple of things, right? Because there's a bunch of work that we have to do as a funding company to get you prepped in order to be ready, right? So meaning we have to prep your file. We have to make sure that your credit profile is up to date, right? You don't have anything on there that could risk you getting denied. Like little things like putting an old employer, right? Like still having in your employment section, having the word self-employed or retired or unemployed, any of those things have to be removed, right? That's work that my team has to do. Also, inquiries, guys. You have to have all your inquiries removed before we go in there and start pairing you up with the banks and start your funding sequence, right? So all that takes manpower, right? My team will actually do it all for you. They do it for all of our clients that come in. We process all your disputes. We do everything in the manner that the Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax will accept. We upload everything. We call the bureaus and everything to make sure that they received all the docs in order for us to be able to dispute everything, right? So there is a lot of work, guys. And then remember, if here's like the rule of thumb, I forgot who mentioned this, but I've heard this in the past, like he who doesn't have skin in the game will not take it serious, right? Somebody famous said that. That's like couldn't be closer to the truth. I mean, literally, like we used to onboard clients and remove inquiries, prep their files, do all this work for them without a retainer before, and we saw a bunch of things happen, right? Like, I'll name like 3 that I can remember. So obviously, if you don't have skin in the game, you have no loyalty to the company and person, right? So if somebody's doing the inquiries, you can go run off and literally go do all the work with somebody else, even though we already did all the work for you, right? That happened to us many times. Number 2, if you don't have skin in the game, you're not going to take this serious, right? When you're working with us, there are things that we're going to have you do that only you can do, right? Like open up a business checking account with whatever bank we pair you with, right? Certain little things that we cannot as a company do for the client, right? So if you don't have any skin in the game and we ask you to go do stuff, right? Like you're going to obviously like you're way more highly likely to drag your feet than go in there and actually take action, right? Because you have nothing to lose. If you don't do it, who cares, right? Like, hey. And then number 3, like out of all those things that we notice, people that pay their retainer are a lot more serious, right? They're way more committed to doing what it takes to get the money that they need without docs, without tax returns, pay stubs, the whole nine. And basically, people just will take you serious as a company, right? If you don't charge anything and they onboard, it's just like it's almost like they look at your company like not a real company. That's what we noticed. Over like onboarding 20 to 30 clients every single month. As soon as we did the retainer, we're working with way serious people, these people that are in business, that understand there's cost to doing business, right? You can't just onboard people for free and do inquiries for free. It just doesn't work that way, right? It just doesn't work in our favor as a funding company either. So that's why we charge a retainer, guys. There is work that we do that my team has to do for you in order to get you prepped. And also it ensures, right, that we also have a delivery for you as well. Like, hey, we took your money. Like you're expecting results out of us as well, right? So typically retainers cover like inquiries. That's the biggest thing that most people don't know how to remove. Experian is easy, right? You can call in and just, say that you don't recognize inquiries, right? They're the only ones that's easy. But TransUnion, you have to mail in docs or you have to know where to upload them, right? There's a certain link that we use to upload docs, so that way TransUnion receives them right away, and takes them like 3 business days. For whatever reason, it takes that long for them to review it. And of course, there's Equifax. Equifax can take 10 to 14 business days, or 10 to 14 actual days. So like in total business days, about 10 business days. In order, because they have to process the paperwork, they have to make sure that they do their due diligence and investigate. So Equifax is kind of like more of a trickier one for do the inquiries, but it is possible. The fastest is Experian, and then it's TransUnion, and then it's Equifax. Equifax can take up to 2 weeks. So that's why we charge a retainer, guys. We are a firm. We do run ads. We literally spend a ton of money getting eyeballs to our service, right? So therefore, we also, use some of the retainer in order to offset some costs as well. Hopefully you guys understand that portion, guys. That's why we charge a retainer. A lot of companies out there do it as well. We're not the only ones, but we also noticed that we work with way better people once we started charging the retainer, because they understand, right? That are working with other business owners understand that, there's work to be done and there's obviously costs associated with, right? We have a team of 10 now at All Above Funding, which is great. We're planning on keeping on growing this whole year. We're trying to be fully staffed in every single department by the end of the year. So that's the goal. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully, if you found some value in at all or been thinking about joining our service, right? That's why, in a nutshell, explained why we charge a retainer. It's not just to take your money. It's like there's literally work that has to be done before you are ready to get funded. Nobody, like in the 4 years now, it's gonna be 4 years in November that I've been in business. Like nobody has ever come into my ecosystem 100% ready for funding. There's always something you need to do, whether that's pay stuff down, clean up your credit, just remove old names, maybe old addresses in your credit profile, like any reason that it could give the bank a reason for them to just deny you. That's what we do. We make sure that we remove all those things, because there's already so many things going against you that like you have to work with somebody that knows what they're doing, because if not, you're just going to get denied over and over again. And you can be an 800 score, and if you have too many inquiries, you're automatically going to get denied. We've seen that happen over and over again. That is something that happens. But anyways, that's it for my chat today, guys. Hopefully you guys found some value. If you guys are thinking about working with us, that's why you get to work directly with me one-on-one. If you want to get hand created like service and literally guidance from me one-on-one, click the link below in the comments or in the video description, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.